right, good afternoon, class. Welcome to Big Ideas, Chapter 1. This is Lesson 1.3 on subtracting integers. Please follow along with me in your red hardcover textbook, beginning on page 16. I need you to write all your notes in your math notebook or on a separate piece of paper. Please remember to show your notes in class tomorrow. And for this chapter, you do not need a calculator. I want you to be able to do this using mental math, so no calculators. Our key idea for this chapter is subtracting integers. And to subtract an integer, all you have to do is add its opposite. So if we look at this first example, 3 minus 4, it's the same thing as 3 plus negative 4. So they both equal negative 1. If you look at the number line, you have 3, so you start at positive 3, and you're going to subtract 4. So you move left 4, you end on negative 1. Here, if you have 3, you start at positive 3, and now we're adding a negative 4. So you still move to the left 4 and end on negative 1. So 3 stays the same. The minus sign changes to a plus sign. And the opposite of positive 4 is negative 4. You'll see that they both equal negative 1, which is the same answer. So please keep in mind adding the opposite. For example 1, this is on page 16. We're going to practice subtracting integers. I want you to find 3 minus 12. Now, normally you would not be able to solve this problem because if you had 3 tiles, you would not have enough to take away 12. So what we do here is we add the opposite. This is because of the additive inverse property. So 3 can be brought down. The minus sign becomes a plus sign. And now we're going to add the opposite of 12, which is negative 12. Now we follow our rules for adding integers. When they have different signs, you find the difference. And the difference is between the absolute value. The absolute value of 3 is 3. The absolute value of negative 12 is positive 12. You take the larger number minus the smaller number. 12 minus 3 is 9. Keep the sign of the bigger number. The bigger number is 12, and 12 was negative. So our answer will be negative 9. You could also do this using a number line. Start, this is our number line, here's 0. Start at positive 3. Move left 12 spaces. So you go take away 3, take away 6, take away 9, take away 12, and you will end at negative 9. So use your laminated number line to help you with that in case you need a visual. Let's try B. Negative 8 minus negative 13. Here you see that double negative. Follow the rules for subtracting integers. You bring the negative 8 down. The minus sign becomes a plus sign. Now we're going to take the opposite of negative 13, which is 13. Since they have different signs, you have a minus and a plus, we have to subtract the absolute values. The absolute value of negative 8 is 8. The absolute value of positive 13 is still 13. 13 take away 8 is 5. Keep the sign of the bigger number. The larger number in this case is 13. And 13 is positive, so our answer is positive 5. Use a number line to help you. If you start, you'll start here on negative 8. You're going to add 13 more, and you will end on positive 5. Let's try C. 5 minus negative 4. Once again, you bring the 5 down, and we add the opposite. The opposite of negative 4 is positive 4. We know that 5 plus 4 equals 9. So that concludes our first 3 examples. I would like you to make sure you write these down as part of your notes. And then I want you to complete the on your own and show your work. So we're subtracting integers. Please show me how you add the opposite. Pause the video to take time to work out numbers 1 through 6. Okay, example 2 begins on page 17. It's called subtracting integers. And this time we're going to evaluate negative 7 minus negative 12 minus 14. So to do this, I move from left to right, and I just take it step by step. I'm going to start by working with negative 7 minus negative 12. Now, because of this subtraction here, I'm going to use the additive inverse. So I'm going to add the inverse of negative 12, which is the opposite of negative 12 is 12. See how these double negatives created a plus sign here. And then I'm going to bring everything else down. Negative 7 plus 12. Now they have different signs, so I find the difference. 12 take away 7 is 5. Keep the sign of the bigger number. In this case, 12 is bigger, so I keep my answer positive 5. Now I have 5 take away 14. So since we're subtracting integers here, I'm going to add the opposite. The minus becomes a plus, and 14 becomes the opposite. The opposite of positive 14 is negative 14. Now I can combine the integers. Since they have different signs, I find the difference. 14 take away 5 is 9, and I keep the sign of the larger number. 14 is larger, and since 14 is negative, our answer is negative 9. Now I would like you to complete the on your own section. On page 17, I want you to complete 7 through 12 this time. Pause the video to work out these problems and show your work step by step. Okay, example 3 is our real life application. This is also found on page 17. It says, which continent has the greater range of elevations? So we're comparing North America to Africa. The highest elevation in North America is 6,198 meters. And the lowest elevation in North America is negative 86 meters. The positive shows above sea level. The negative number represents below sea level. Now in Africa, the highest elevation is 5,895 meters. And the lowest elevation is negative 155 meters below sea level. To find the range of these elevations, we need to subtract, let's fix that. Subtract the lowest elevation from the highest elevation. So let's start with North America. We have 6,198 minus, and the lowest elevation is negative 86. So we're finding the difference between those two. Now here you see we're subtracting integers. So to subtract integers, all you have to do is add the opposite. A minus becomes the plus sign, and the opposite of negative 86 is positive 86. So go ahead and add those two numbers together, and I'll work it out to the side since we're not using calculators here. 6,198 plus 86 is 14, that's 18, that's 2. I got 7,284 meters. So that is the difference in the range in North America. Now we're going to do the same procedure for Africa. Oops, I think I made a mistake. I'm sorry. When I looked back and double checked my work, this was 14, that's 18, that became 2. I did not carry over, so it's actually 6,284. I hope you caught my mistake. Okay, let's move on to Africa. We're going to do the same procedure again. Africa has a difference of 5,895 minus the negative 155. Now, here we are subtracting integers, so all you have to do is add the inverse. The inverse of negative 155 is positive 155. Notice how these two negative signs became the positive sign, or the plus sign. Now this time, let's work it out off to the side. 5,895 plus 155. 5 and 5 is 10. 10 plus 5 is 15. 8 plus 2 is 10, and we regroup. 5 plus 1 is 6, so we get 6,050 meters in difference. Let's double check my work to make sure I don't make any mistakes, and it looks good. Okay, so which elevation has the greater range? Well, it would definitely be North America has the greater range in elevation. The reason why is because 6,284 meters is greater than 6,050. So North America has the greater range. And range simply means to subtract to find the difference. I want you to try number 13 of the on your own. This is on page 17. It says the highest elevation in Mexico is 5,700 meters on Pico de Orizaba. The lowest elevation in Mexico is negative 10 meters, and this is in Laguna Salada. Find the range of elevations in Mexico. So find the difference between 5,700 and negative 10. Please work that out and pause the video. Okay, your exit ticket for today's lesson is a writing response. I need you to write this down to receive credit. It says, your friend is homesick today. Imagine you are on the telephone with him or her. How would you explain how to subtract integers? Be sure to use an example. So I want you to write it out in words of what you know about subtracting integers, and then you can make up your own example. Pause the video to work out your exit ticket. Okay, now today I'm doing something different. I'm including the solutions or the answers for all of the on your own sections for this video. So I hope you have all of those finished. Number 1, you should have got 5. Number 2 is negative 8. 3 is negative 6. 4, negative 23. Number 5 is 17. 6 is 0. 7 is negative 33. 8 is negative 33. 9 is negative 4. 10 is negative 2. 11 is 15, 12 is negative 59, and 13 is 5,710 meters. If you have any questions about any of these 13 problems, please circle them and write down the questions you have so that way in class tomorrow we can review them together. In class tomorrow, please bring your record and practice journal, your video of 1.3 notes. If you need to finish page 13 in your record and practice journal from class, please have page 13 finished. And there's an extra credit opportunity for you to create your own rap song about adding integers. To get the extra credit, I do need you to share it with the class tomorrow. The old song that we use is same sign, add and keep, different sign, subtract. Keep the sign of the bigger number, then you'll be exact. Now, I want to make this song a little better, so if you can be creative and create the song in either a rap or a poem or adding your own words or your own tune, you can earn extra credit. So please have that ready for tomorrow. I hope you have a great evening, and I'll see you then. Bye.